Hello everybody, welcome to episode 44 of Coffee Time. I'm your host Byron. Alongside me via Zoom, we have former hockey player, and I've been waiting to have this guy on for a long time. Former world champion with our Tampa Bay Lightning, Chris Dingman. How are you? And thank you for joining us today.
Oh, no problem. Doing pretty good. Saturday, so no work. Just hanging out with the kids, so.
There you go. I know how it is. I got two of my own as well. I know not ready to play sports, but I want to get them in sports. Are yours in sports?
Yeah, my two boys play hockey, and then my daughter just basically gets tackled and and wrestled with by my boys, so, and me too, so. Yeah, they're both playing competitive hockey, so.
There you go.
They're about to start, their season starts next week. Well, not seasons, but like training camp and stuff, so. Yeah, it's been busy, it's been hectic back on the ice, doing like just some skill stuff and practices and whatnot, so getting ready for the season, so. It's been a little hectic last couple of weeks. I feel like an Uber. I feel like Big Boss Uber. That could be my new title. Uber Dad.
I can. When my son's at that age to play sports, I'm going to feel the same way. Trust me. Taking him to his games. Do they have aspirations like you to make it pro like you did?
Well, I think so. Yeah, I don't know if I told her, doesn't really talk about it. So he wants to go to Princeton, so I went there. It was fair enough, so he has aspirations to do that, and I think they just want to play. My older guy unfortunately wants to play junior, and I tried to tell him that playing junior means you're ride a bus a lot. I ain't gonna lie. So I go, okay, sure you want to do that? Because if you do that, you're gonna you swing on a bus a lot, so you're really ready to watch movies or read books. So yeah, I think everyone has a dream. I think when you play sports, whether it's baseball or football or hockey, everybody has a dream to make it to the highest level. So I think they do, and school, they love it. They're passionate about playing, so it's great.
Now, seeing that you were born and raised in Canada, where hockey basically is the number one sport up there, did you guys have other sports growing up as well that you enjoyed doing besides hockey being the number one sport?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's still to this day, like, kids up here play volleyball. It's weird, and I think they use a smaller net because when I've been coaching the last couple of years, I was coaching Pee-wee, which is like 12. It's like 11, 12-year-olds. 13 maybe, sir. Yeah, like 11 to 13 that age. So, and I'll tell you, Preston played volleyball. I was kind of thinking to myself, like, how do you play volleyball? You're only like 5'5". So I think they use a smaller net. So, yeah, there's other sports, volleyball, basketball, baseball and soccer, when it gets warmer. And, I was younger, I played football and rugby in high school. Really liked rugby, football, not so much, just because you played in the winter, or by the time when we made it to state championships, so you started when the school season starts in football, so, that's like September, October, so we made it to the state championships, that was in December. Like I said, you're getting tackled or tackling somebody when it's minus 20 or 30 is not a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so,
there you go, yeah.
And when the ground's frozen, so, yeah, I played those and played baseball too growing up, so curling's a pretty big thing up here too. That's more of a recreational activity, I think, for adults when they're having a beverage. So, people love it, so.
Do you play a little of that? Do you play a little bit of that?
Once in a while. Not very often. But, that, and then golf. I used to play a lot of golf. Growing up, I play, it's weird because I shoot left-handed, but I play golf right-handed. My kids are asking me, like, how do you play golf right-handed? I say, well, because when I wanted to go to the driving range. My dad is basically I'm right-handed, so if you want to come to the range, you can use right-handed gloves because I don't have left-handed gloves, so I'm not buying stuff. So
There you go.
so I learned how to play. Yeah, so I learned how to play right-handed, and now my kids started to play a little bit. So my dad, I guess he kind of planted the seed because he got a lesson in a NIGO gift card or whatever for my oldest, and then. So he went, and then they wanted to go. So it was like every Saturday there for almost a month. We go play like 5 o'clock. It was cheaper, and there's less people on the course, and they're just starting out. So yeah, it's been so golf is something I did obviously a lot when I was younger, and growing up, and then in the summers after training. So basically, I don't want to generalize and say as a hockey player, but a lot of hockey players do play golf. Seems to be. They kind of go hand in hand because it's something you can be really competitive about. You can bet money or bet whatever for us. But it's hard. It's so hard, and I think that's the appreciation of it. Is that if you're good at one sport, you're really good at one sport, and you want to be good at something else. But golf is so hard. I think like Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, those guys. Here's stories of they could play golf for like like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I never bet that much, but those guys, you don't lose the competitive juice. Let's just say that. So you have to play. You have to do something, and golf seems to be a pretty good thing because it's not. You're not getting tackled. You're not getting hit. Getting those or you shouldn't be anyway. So it seems to be a pretty good sport for guys to play and be competitive. So,
are you good as a golfer? Do you think you could maybe golfed in like the Pro-Am, like what Tony Romo and them do, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, what them like you were saying? Do you think you would have been good enough to do that?
Yeah, I mean back in the day, I think I was anywhere from a 4 to a 7 or 8 handicap. So I could play with that. I played a lot of tournaments, a lot of celebrity tournaments, and I played a couple of pro-ams. It's fun, yeah. I could have done it now. I actually went on playing that shot. I shot 80. I think I shot 87. I wasn't really keeping score, but I kind of was. Just because I wanted to see how good I'd be if I'd be that crappy after. Because when we moved back to Edmonton, I haven't played golf in like 2.5 years, so it was a little rusty. So I actually went on playing the first time. I wasn't sure if I could hit the ball, and actually I didn't duff any shots. I actually hit all good shots. It was actually funny because it was during a heat wave, and I went on a fishing trip with a bunch of coaches I know where my kids played NEX, and it was like 41 degrees, and it was just so hot. So we landed, we went to BC, and then we went to the golf course, and it was like 41, and I'm at the range, we all hit a couple balls. I didn't want to hit balls because I was so freaking hot, and I was sweating, and we were sweating so bad, I had a couple beers, and actually, I think I played better, I played good because I was so worried, I wasn't worried about golf, I was sweating so bad. I'd go out and hit my ball, and I'd get back in the car, and then drive to the next, to my ball or whatever, so, I felt like it was even tapping again. It was so freaking hot.
So before we get into when you got drafted into your career, I gotta ask you, as a former player, because you played before the pandemic, you played when the divisions before were aligned and they could travel. I personally, even though it's pandemic-wise, I don't like how they realigned the divisions, which is all Canada and all that. Do you, as a former player, like how they did that, or do you see them when the pandemic's over going back to the old divisions?
Oh yeah, they'll go back to it. It was out of necessity, just because they did the bubble 2 years ago where all the guys were in Edmonton here, and there's funny guys like, when Tampa won, they're like, you gotta go party with the guys. I'm like, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. Right.
They're all stuck in the bubble, and
right.
Well, not stuck in the bubble, but they're in the bubble. And if you weren't in the bubble, how many times can I say bubble? No. If you were in the bubble, you can't go in there. So,
right.
I think they did. I was more born out of necessity. I think it was neat to see. but then everyone complains. I mean, everyone complained about the divisions before, but this one's weak and this one's strong. And, it's like, it's just something to complain about, I think, for people. So, I think it was neat to do or see for a year, but I think, you're playing the same teams over and over again. Like, people get bored of that. Like, like you can't. Everyone's complaining, like, oh my god, Edmonton, you gotta play Vancouver again or whatever. But they also get rivalries too. That's where I think you actually, like, people were bitching about the playoffs and how they were brutal. I was like, they were great. That was like one of the better playoffs I thought, just because there was some intensity and it's not about fighting. It's more the lead up to the fight.
Right.
You have a fight last 10 seconds, but it's like all the animosity and the hitting and the built up, anger and frustration from playing the same team. However many times they did during the season, whereas in a normal season you play, whatever it is, you play your own division and then you play, twice, home and away with the other team. Yeah. It's not even twice, it's not even a home and away. It depends on, the year. So, I think you want to see, you want to see all the teams, but on the flip side, like, I love hockey. I mean, I still love, I don't want to say I love hockey, but I still like hockey, I still watch it. I don't, sit down and watch every single game, just because I got other stuff going on, but I watch, I'll keep track of, being in Edmonton now, I keep track of the Oilers, and obviously what the Lightning are doing in Colorado and some of my former teams and stuff, but, I watch a little bit, but, I liked it back when you were playing, Quebec and Montreal, when they were brawling.
Yeah. Those were the days.
So I liked it in Edmonton and Calgary back in the 80s. Oh my God, like every game was just a full-on friggin' line brawl and bench line brawl. Obviously you can't have that anymore, but, I like that. I liked, you had that. You had that animosity. You had that hate and dislike for, I don't want to say each other, but, for... Yeah, like each other, like Flames and Oilers or, whoever. Like, you get that from playing the same team over and over again. And, some guy that keeps scotch-checking you or sticking it or pattering slipping you off the whole deal that you want to kill. So, so there's some good and bad both. I think, obviously, we'll go back to, with Seattle coming into the league, you have to change things up. And so, it'll go back. So, it'll go back to where it was, which is fine. I mean, people are always going to bitch about something. This team should play this team, and this team should play this team, and whatever. So, it doesn't really bother me. I thought the playoffs were great. I thought, I felt bad for Montreal. Not bad, but, I wanted them to make more of the series out of it. But, Tampa was just...
The better team, you can tell. And that's where I was going with you on your division alignment, because like you said, you could prove with this division alignment what teams were good and not. And obviously, it showed that in the Stanley Cup. Unfortunately, I didn't really watch it, because most of the games were just... You could just tell the Lightning were more dominant because they were the better team. I know Montreal tried their best, but, I mean...
Yeah, they just, I think they beat Toronto, which is great.
I like that one, yeah. Anytime they beat Toronto, I don't like Toronto.
Yeah, I think just beating Toronto was a big thing for them, and, they were good. They're a good team, but Tampa's a great team.
Exactly.
So, a lot of times you see that by the time you get... such a battle. It's such a grind to play. I mean, obviously, the last couple years have been different just with COVID and everything. But just to travel in the 82-game regular season and, the preseason and, playoffs, it's such a grind. And usually, a lot of times you get to the final and one team's just so beat up that, very rarely it seems it's competitive. Or not competitive, but, you kind of have an idea who's going to win, it seems like. But, it's great for Montreal. But, that they, how they did in, they call Cole Caulfield, and, Shea Weber's a great player, and whether he comes back or not. And Carey Price, getting back the way he played.
Right.
All those years, I think was, was great, but yeah, like I think you just saw there's a difference between a good team and a great team. And Tampa's a great team, and that's why it's so hard to win. Like people, I think people get appreciation for it in Tampa. We have great fans, and I think it's so hard. And to win 2 years in a row, and then Tampa to win 3 years in a row.
Right.
We're multiple teams, so. He can just get a contract every year.
Exactly.
Even if he doesn't play, for the next 5 years. If he thinks it's in the running or something, he can just sign him and play him a couple minutes tonight because there's like a rabbit foot or a good luck charm. But winning is just so hard. So I think it's it's pretty terrific what Tampa has done and what Julie Griswold has done. And I don't like that either. It was like Steve Vajenstein, this and that, where Vajenstein came in and he did some great work, but this is Lightning or Julian Griswold's team.
Right now, yeah, they are, yeah.
And he made the trades, and he made the salary cap. Or even, like the people pissing and moaning about the salary cap and Kucherov. I don't know, how he came in and played like the way he did, playing all season is unbelievable.
Right.
And people really discredit that. Okay, maybe let's just say maybe he was healthy. Maybe he was healthy, and they waited for him, or they wanted him to wait just to save money. Maybe they did that. I don't believe that, but to not play and then jump into the playoffs, I don't think people realize how hard the playoffs are.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. That's why I say the same thing about that to the haters. Like, oh well, so what? He was injured. At least he gets. So what? He's healthy. Yeah. He's still part of the team. Let him play. Don't bitch. Let him play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just think all that. Yeah, I think all that, and even with all the bonuses, Montreal over the salary cap too. So
right, exactly.
Like not a bit of karma, but the interesting thing about all that is it's Julian Griswold was complaining about the salary cap and the loopholes.
Yeah.
He went to the league because other teams, and he did nothing about it. So what did he do? He just used it to his advantage. So
exactly.
People can complain all they want, but if he asked the league to, I don't know, probably amend the ruling or whatever, and they didn't. So might as well use it.
Right. Exactly. Now, do you think, because obviously Tampa had the advantage at home because it was crowded, fully stacked stands. And Montreal, as you saw, only had half capacity, if that. Now, do you think that could have also been a factor why the Canadians did not win as well, or win any of those games at home? Do you think the fan factor may have had an issue?
No, because you have the best fans in the world. You could have 100,000 people in the stadium, and if your team's not as good, it's just not as good. I think maybe just atmosphere, it plays a little part of it, but, the bottom line is that the team that wins, wins the Stanley Cup, wins games on the road. So they have to go to another team's building, and whether they have fans or no fans, they have to go on the road and win. So, maybe it was part of it, but it's more of an atmosphere thing. You can say we had an advantage, but the thing is, I don't know, when I play, I love going on the road too. I love going in the 04, we're playing Calgary, and we're getting booed. I love it. Like, I love going into Calgary and getting booed. Because you get booed, you're doing something good, so.
Right.
Like, it was both ways. Like, it works, it works for the home team and the visiting team too. Like, it's great for us. Like, anyways, I love going to Philadelphia and just getting booed and all that, Long Island, that was series I love. Long Island fans, they're ruthless. So guys love that. Players love that. Most guys, not everybody, but most guys thrive on that. You love going on the road and getting booed or whatever. Some fans, I don't. Maybe can let an extra goal or two, or maybe a penalty call if they interfere. But I don't think. No, really matter. It made a difference. Sam was just a better team.
So you get drafted 19th overall in the 94 draft by the Calgary Flames. A two-part question. Where were you when you first got the call that you got drafted? Who called you? And since you were a high draft pick, did you ever feel the pressure that you needed to succeed? Because that's pretty high in a draft, and not many players succeed that high in the draft. So did you feel the pressure of having to succeed?
Well, I was at the draft. The draft was in Hartford, so usually if you're slated to go in the top 2 rounds, maybe you had an agent and they'd say, listen, here's where you're projected to go. You're probably going to be an early 2nd round pick or maybe a late 1st round pick. And that's how they tell you that. And then based on that, you go to the draft. Like, you don't want to go to the draft if you're going to be a 5th or 6th round pick because you're sitting around for 2 days.
Right.
Because, it's changed over years, but you did the first 2 rounds the first day, and then you do the rest the next. But so it was in Hartford, so I was there. So it was pretty cool. It was a good experience, and not like going on in Hartford on the weekend. I'll tell you, downtown at the Civic Center, where it's like basically it's in a mall. The arena is attached to a mall, so there's a lot going on. But pressure-wise, I think. I don't know if I felt pressure. I almost made the team as an 18-19-year-old. And then Doug Riseborough and Tom Thompson, the guys Doug Riseborough was a GM, former player. Tom Thompson was the head scout. The guys that drafted me, they got fired. And then you get a new GM and you get a new, everything. And then as a 20-year-old, I get, this thing you come to camp under 230. So I came to camp at like 228. And, I was always in really good shape. I took pride in being in good shape and filling up the camp. I was always in the top 10. And that year in Calgary, those last 2 years of camp, I was in the top 5. I was in the top 7 or 5 for overall conditioning. So that was something I needed to do because I wasn't as skilled as some other guys. But pressure, I think, everyone feels pressure to play and something you want to do. And, I think I felt pressure the first round pick. I think, I get sitting down as a 20-year-old. They're like, hey, can you come in under 230? I do, and that was the first cap. One of the first rounds of caps, like the first round of cuts of cap. So I kind of, I don't know, like, knew where I was or where everyone say, but, it was disappointing. And now I'm seeing reading these articles where, Stingman's last chance, and, he might be done, and I'm like, I didn't even play the game pro, for Christ's sake. And I'm going to be done. I'm 20 years old. I just turned 20. I just finished my last year. Like a junior, you can play as a 20-year-old. You can play as an older age, like 20, 21-year-old. I played, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then, went camp and turned pro, whatever. But, I was like, he's done. This is his last chance. And I'm like, I haven't even played the game pro yet. Jesus. So I don't know about pressure, maybe. But, I ended up the next year, ended up making it, and had a good conversation with Brian Sutter going into camp. And just basically, he was good. He called me and said, what's it going to take you to make this team? And I said to him, when you show up at camp, you play with some junior guy. I don't think he's shooter players, but, the year before, Joe McGill made the team, and he was playing with Fleury Castles, who were 2 great players. And I was playing with a guy who was playing in the East Coast and some junior players. So there's a big difference. Like, it's, scoring's hard, playing's hard, especially the NHL level. And if you're doing with NHL players, it's a lot easier. So usually, I think you see it over the years. Like when I was in Colorado, Alex Stan was a top pick, and he came as an 18-19-year-old, and he played with Joe Sakic. Life's pretty easy there. He's still gonna play and produce, but he's played with Joe Sakic, so that's it's like Merry Christmas. Here you go. So, anyways, so there's a little bit of pressure, but I don't know. There's always pressure. I mean, there's pressure to play, there's pressure to get in the league, there's pressure to stay in the league, there's pressure to score. And, like look at last year for Stamkos, there's pressure for him to get back in the lineup.
Right.
People were calling him a bad leader, and he's a band aid, he's bandaged, he's beat up in his body and whatever, and then he comes back and plays plays one game. And, basically hurt himself really bad on that one play he scored on, but I'm sure he felt pressure to play. He wanted to play and be part of it. So for me, anybody that was ripping him, I think it was pretty uncalled for because you don't know how badly hurt a guy is, and I just say I like when everyone, like, especially social media now, Twitter, the BS is it. Everyone's chirping guys are brutal, this guy sucks, this whatever, and then you see at the end of the year, shoulder surgery, broken leg, right? Colon, like, what was it, a cracked femur or whatever it was, broken leg, Khrushchev, broken rib or dislocated rib or broken, so I was getting a kick out of when you see a guy play and he doesn't look right or he's not 100%, well, he's not. He shouldn't even, if he wasn't playing professional sports, he wouldn't be playing, but, that's how meaningful it is for guys to play and win, so I think, for me, there's pressure to play. I felt pressure to not live up. I didn't feel pressure to live up to be the first round pick. I just wanted to play, and I was going to play more. And, it didn't really work out for me the way I anticipated career-wise, but, I still lucky enough to play with great players on great teams and win. So, there's positive negatives here. So our head stoked for a while, or not for a while, but a while back. When I wasn't dapping, I was sitting out a little bit, and Jake Gerson. So I was going, I said, I'm not, sour or down on playing. He's like, how many games did you play at the time? I was like, I don't know, 300, 350. He's like, how many guys can say that? I said, yeah, but I'm a first-round pick. And he's like, there's a lot of first-round picks that can say that too. Like, there's a lot of first-round picks that don't play.
Right.
Maybe play a season or two or whatever, so. I felt pressure. I put pressure on myself because I wanted to live up to expectations, but I just wanted to play. I loved hockey, and I wanted to be the best I could be, and I always thought I could do better. Right, wrong, or different, but I think that's the difference between professional players and elite players and non-elite players. Is that it's the Michael Jordans. Who I'm not comparing myself to Michael Jordan by any stretch of imagination, but he's hard on himself. He was hard on his teammates. I love watching that at the Last Dance. When he got beat up by the Pistons, he was in the gym the next day because he knew he had to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
If he was going Nets, he was driving the hole and building a beer, he was going to get tackled over the clothesline. So, the guys, like the elites, athletes, they put pressure on themselves. They want to be better. They want to have the ball. They want to have the puck. So, I still put pressure on myself. So, I don't know about feeling pressure. Maybe I just put I put the pressure on myself. Let's put it that way. Maybe that's what I said.
Now, I totally forgot about this because I watched most of your career, but I totally forgot people did call you this. Please tell us how you got the nickname Dinger. Is it because of what you did, or is it because of your name with Ding in it? How'd you get that nickname?
A bit of both. Partly because of the name, but from playing baseball when I was younger. So I used to hit the ball. When I hit the ball, it was either double or home run. So it was a frozen rope when I was younger, when I started playing at 10. So I think it was baseball part of that. I hit the dinger or whatever. So bit sports and a bit to do with the name.
And according to what I'm reading, when you were with the Flames from in the 97-98 season, you earned a reputation. What is this exactly? A checker and according to this, it says pug list. What is that? What is this trying to tell me? You said you were opposed to a scoring line player. What is that trying to say?
There wasn't a goal scorer. So a checker and a pugilist is a fighter. So it's basically just a physical player that hits, and usually when you hit people a lot, you get into fights. It's just the nature of sports, because when you run people, you get mad, or people run you, you're mad. So basically you're a guy that hits and fights.
So is that how you ended up making your reputation in this sport? Was because you didn't, like you said, you weren't really much of a scorer. You basically made it as fighting and physical play. Is that how you mainly got your name in this playing?
Well, a bit of both. I think I was a top player when I was younger, and I always played up like 2-3 years up against older guys or kids or I want to say it. And I did. I was always the lead scorer on my team when I was younger, and then went to junior and scored 40 goals and 43 assists my third year. And 66 games, but I had 30 fighting majors as well. So, I think just when I always, I could score, I could make plays, but I like to hit. And back then in the 70s, more in the 70s, but in the 80s and 90s, when you hit people, they got mad and you had to fight. There was no, the refs weren't stepping in and stopping like it is now. So, I was always the guy that's, was competitive. I wanted to win. I hate losing. I get pretty mad. And, when I was playing basketball or hockey or whatever, and, I think just the way I played, I remember having to talk with my junior GM, my parents, like, we don't want Chris to be just a fighter or good. He's like, oh, we want him to play. I don't want him to fight. And he said that, but which was true, but you also knew in the Western League back then that if you hit, you fought.
Right, right.
You had to prove yourself, or, it was like basically your first year, guys will fight you, and which is fine. And then, your second year, guys want to fight you. Your third year, I just wanted to beat people up. Because if it was such my limits, they were smaller guys, I just grabbed them and beat the tar over them. And then my fourth year, I just pretty much could do whatever I want in junior. So, it was just a matter of you start fighting, and if you do well, you continue to fight. And there were some guys like, there's a guy by the name of Ray Lowe who played Moose. He was not a good fighter. He used to get beat up all the time in junior. Mm-hmm. And then he just got tougher and tougher, and he had a pretty good career in the NHL as a fighter. So, just a necessity, like survival. You learn how to fight, and you realize it's punching someone in the face is a lot better than being punched in the face. So, you don't have to do something, you might as well practice and you get out of it.
Now, like you said, early in the days of hockey, like in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, the mindset of fights was the guys hated each other and all that, and it was a legitimate rivalry, whatever, what caused fights. Nowadays, it just seems like guys just want to fight for entertainment reasons, to hype up the crowd. Do you see that aspect in today's game of fighting, or do you see it more of the line of rivalries like back in the early days of hockey?
It's a bit of both. I think now there's you talk about stage fights where for a while there two guys would fight and want to fight, and there's always there's something behind it, there's a backstory. So I think there's a bit of that, but it's I think the fights you saw like this season, for example, in the playoffs, where these guys are pissed off. You play the same team 4, 5, 6, 7. You play in the playoffs, you're going 8-10 times. Well,
right.
You're bound to be pissed off or piss somebody off on the other team. So I think the fights you saw this season, for the most part, were just animosity, just sheer guys are not getting mad because they, you're playing the same team or the same guy. It's like having a little brother that it's a bit in your ass and a punch him because he's annoying you or have a sibling. So I'd equate it to that because I have 2 kids. And they're all our 3s there. 2 boys and a girl. And the 2 boys annoy they annoy the crap out of each other. So one ends up punching the other because they just get on each other's nerves after a while. Especially with COVID. Being,
right.
Not so much this year, but like last year being home, oh my God, it was brutal with 2 kids and a baby and everyone's at home. God, they're fighting every day. It was, you're testing your patience, I guess, maybe, or, I look at it this way, if you come out of COVID and you're still married and happily, that you love each other. It was hard on a lot of people. Like sports, it's hard. it's hard playing the same team. It's hard being on a team and traveling and having a roommate and all that stuff. So, I think it's all part of it. You see in practice guys fight once in a while, and it's not because you don't like each other. You just sometimes you're losing and the coach is up your ass or something, or you're not playing a lot, or you're in a bad mood, a guy hits you or something. And, it's all part of the passion, I think, of the game. And even back in the day, the rivalries were made on Edmonton and Calgary playing each other. They were good teams. And then 1 year Calgary won the Stanley Cup. Well, they beat Edmonton, and every other year Edmonton won the Cup. And it was a war. They hated each other. And, they played each other, the rivalries, because they played each other 6-8 times. And, so I think the fighting is just part of it. I think it should continue. And if you don't have it, you just get more stick work. Because, if you're mad at somebody, if you can't punch them, you're going to end up slashing them or doing something else. So, I think it's all part of it. I think most of it is just based on guys getting mad.
Do you have a memorable fight in your career, and do you remember why that fight happened? Did somebody say something that pissed you off? Do you have a memorable fight?
Well, I think my first one, just getting your first NHL fight about Steve Grimson, and he hit me in the ear, he hit me so hard I couldn't hear him here for like 2 days. Because I had water in my ear, I was like... So that one was interesting, and then I fought Probert when I got traded to Colorado, and I got called up. They played Chicago back-to-back, and Chicago had a really tough team. They had Probert, Probert, Reed Simpson, and Todd Simpson, Jimmy Allison, Ryan Van Bush. They had all these tough guys. They kind of pushed Colorado around, and they played a back-to-back, and then Chicago came down and gave it a call and said, hey, you're coming up, you need a physical presence. And I go, he didn't have to tell me to fight because I knew that's what I was doing. And so I fought Robert off the face-off. And long story short, I played him in 52 seconds and I fought him twice. And first one I did pretty good. So I wanted to fight again. The second one I kind of jumped in. It wasn't much fight good at fall now. But that one was, I think, pretty cool to, fight and keep alive or stay alive. Probert was a scary man, so it was pretty good.
Now, take us through your first Stanley Cup win, which was a 2000, I believe it was 1 or 2 Carolina Hurricanes that you were a part of. Going back at that season, you guys weren't really pictured to do anything like when you were with the Lightning and you won that cup. You guys weren't pictured to do anything as well. What do you remember most about winning your first Stanley Cup with the Carolina Hurricanes?
Well, I didn't win my first Stanley Cup with the Hurricanes. I went out to Colorado. So that was expected. That team we were built to win, and it was great for Ray Bork, and we lost the first year in Game 7 to Dallas, so he wasn't sure if he was going to come back the next year. He ended up coming back, and then it was, we're going to finish first overall, so we have Game 7 and it'll be in our building. So, that was pretty memorable for the fact that we had such a good team and, such great players, like future Hall of Fame and Ray Bork, and we had Adam Foote, Joe Sakic, and Peter Forsberg, Hayden Drury, and going down the line, and Patrick Waugh, Ray Bork, just an all-star team, basically. So the beauty of that team is those guys were such good guys, and everybody wanted to win. And, it was like winning for Ray. It was like, screw that, win it for yourself. So, that was memorable in that sense where there was so much pressure to win, but it was great pressure. And then, Tampa was, it wasn't pressure to win, but we lost to Jersey in 5 games the year before, and then Jersey ended up winning. And they're kind of like, hey, we got a good team. Like, we lost the second round to the, eventual Stanley Cup champions, and, we just got to run. We're playing well, so, the difference between those two teams, people ask me which one's better, what's the difference. And I would say the difference is that in Colorado, they were established superstars. And in Tampa, they were guys that were going from being good players to great players.
Right.
So Marty St. Louis and
Benny LeCavier, Halabulian.
Yeah. All those guys. So they were good players that became great players over that playoff run over those years. So That was the difference. In Colorado, we had established superstars, and Tampa, those guys just really came on their own and became great players.
So, after you win that Stanley Cup with the Tampa Bay Lightning in 04, did you guys know that the following year, which would have been the 04-05 season, did you know that was going to be a strike season before the Cup win? Or how did that play out before you guys knew you were going to take a whole year off?
Well, we kind of had an idea. They were going to be locked out, and we just didn't know if it was going to be the whole season or half season or what. So, my baby wants to say hi. So,
yeah, that's my youngest. About my youngest. My youngest is going to be 2.
Yeah, you're in Canada. So, we kind of had an idea. Or they were going to be locked out. We didn't know for how long. So, it ended up being a year, which was brutal, but cost them a lot of money, and it cost me a lot of money. And, I think the point was it was disappointing that we weren't able to, defend our title. So that was the disappointing part of it. But, it's the business side of it. And players are making too much money. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Guys are making too much money, and now they're making too much money again than other people always have. So,
right.
Compared to baseball and basketball, not even close.
So after that, where did you go after that when the lockout? Did you stay with the Lightning? How long did you stay in the league for after the lockout season?
I played the following season, and then that was it for the NHL, and then I played there for a couple of years. And I decided to move on. Sorry, don't do that. I played a couple of years in Europe, and then I did that, and then moved on. Things after that, so it was she's all thank you, all snap. So just did that, and then moved on, and started working with the Lightning and doing different things. It's radio and TV and ticket stuff, ticket sales, and all different kinds of things. So,
Did you know that your final NHL game was going to be your final NHL game? Did you have a feeling, or did you want to continue playing in the NHL?
Oh, of course I wanted to keep. I would play until I died and cut my skates off. I had no idea. I did the year after lockout. I got sent down over Christmas and New Year's, and then I was pretty much done. Like Lightning, I think they were moving on, and they, we're a year older, and guys like Tim Taylor, Dave Anderchuk were, all those guys were a year older.
Right.
They were in their mid to late 30s.
Right.
And after having not played a year, I think it really hurts everybody. And, Lightning were moving on and wanted to get younger, and I think they just, I think they decided or, figured they were going to win again, so they had to bring in some newer, younger players like Tarnowski and guys like that, Ryan Craig. So, I would sit down, and I ended up being called back up because I was playing well, and they called up for the playoffs, and, I didn't know the answer to your question. I had no idea it was going to be my last game, my last shift. You never know. Not everybody, you see the top 2% of the top 2%, so top 2% of NHL players, the top 2% are your Connor McDavid's now, Crosby, Gray, Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman.
Right.
Those are the guys they don't dictate a lot of things. Even them, you can't dictate due to injury or whatever. You never know that. It's going to be your last shift or your last game unless, with very few guys that say, it's my last season, and then, it's your last game if it's an elimination game or if your team's not making the playoffs. So, I had no idea. I was playing in Europe, and it was fun, but, my boy, my oldest was just born. He was like a year old, and it's hard it's fun, but depending on the league you play in, you're practicing at 5 o'clock at night, which is not ideal with kids, so it was difficult on my wife. And you have kids and you're living in an apartment, you're not living in your house, you're living in a 2-bedroom apartment, the team provides for you, and then you have a vehicle, and it's Europe. So you have one channel that was in English, so you either watch Friends reruns, or we had, back then we had DVD, so, God, I think it was 24, that's Keeper Sutherland show. So we watched the whole 7 seasons, we watched something on the DVD player every night, so.
Now, take us back through that 04 championship run with the Bulls. That, if I remember correctly, this was an awesome series, the finals. I believe it went all 7 games with the Flames. What do you remember most about going through battling with the Flames for the 7-game series? I mean, because it went back and forth. The series was like, it kept you on the edge of your seat. It went back and forth, back and forth. You didn't know who was going to win. So take us through that and what made that season more memorable when you won that cup, knowing that you fought so hard to get it?
Well, I think winning was memorable. So, whether you win, whether you sweep a team or you win in 6 or 7 or 5, whatever, I think it's memorable. But I think, just that series was, the travel was brutal because it was an 8.5 hour flight.
Right. Exactly.
From Tampa to Calgary, so we would stay over, and then, like, when we played Calgary, we'd stay over and then fly out the next day. So it was actually good because, I'd buy tickets for every game in Calgary because from Edmonton it's a 2.5 hour drive. Give or take, and, I was able to, my buddies and my family would come down and we'd go for beers after the game. So it was kind of fun in that sense where, I was able to hang out and see guys that, we would see. And, I just think that series was, like you said, it was a close series. It was, Kippersoff was a great goalie. Abby was a good goalie. Jerome McGinley was just such a great player. I think he single-handedly carried that team to the finals. And, I remember we played together in Calgary and trained together. And, I was disappointed for him, but I wasn't going to give up my cup for him.
Right,
so,
exactly.
He was like he's the one guy I felt bad, beating, I guess. But yeah, just that series was just, eventually it was close, it was back and forth, and just game 6, I scored the golden double overtime, was pretty special, and, the fans were great.
Oh yeah, they were rocking.
But, Calgary was sold out, and it was rocking, but, I played Calgary, and in 97 we were not a good team, and it was not sold out.
Right.
There was like 12,000 people at games, and so I remember riding to the cab with us where we go to the games, and they called the Red Mile because there was no party before the games, and this and that, and I'm like, Frank, where the hell were you guys in 97? Like, we were hopping on the truck wagon and hop on the bandwagon there, so. It was just fun. It was fun playing in Canada. It was fun playing against the Canadian team, to be honest with you. And, there's passionate fans everywhere. Go play Long Island, and like the chance they had going in the playoffs were awesome. They're a little foul, but, there's passionate fans everywhere. I think, just for me, being Calgary, drafting me, and then trading me, you always want to, not stick it to them, but you want to stick it to the team that didn't want you, or trade you, or whatever, so you always want to prove them wrong, so I think just being able to beat them, and, we did game 6 in double overtime, and, we won that game, and it's hard to have, like everyone we talked about, it was just, it's hard to have the cup in the building, and knowing if you win, you have the cup, and then you lose, and then all of a sudden, you're not sure if you're going to win, so you have your family there, and your wife, and, your kids, if you have kids, but then your parents are there, or friends, or whatever, whatever it may be, and then you lose, and then you got to get on the plane and fly to Tampa.
Right.
So then you got to coordinate tickets, or, all that stuff, so, I just think, just being able to win, and the way we did, and come back, actually both times I won, we were down 3-2, and we went on the road in Colorado too. We went on the road in Jersey, game 6-1. So I had that experience. So it's kind of interesting in that sense where both times I won the was down 3-2 and came back and won game 6 and then went home on the road and then I went home and won game 7. So it was pretty memorable just playing a Canadian team, a former team, and close to home.
Now, a lot of players get to do whatever they want with the cup when they get to have a special occasion or whatever with the cup. At least most of the players do. Did you ever have a chance to do anything with the cup, like hang out with it, hug it, kiss it, whatever, like a lot of players do in your 2 times that you won it? Uh-oh, I think we lost him.
Just so when you win, you get a day. You get maybe goes. You get 24 hours with it. So they have a cup guy that flies around with the cups. There's the famous guy Phil Pritchard, and then they have a couple other guys that they travel around with the cup. And they put it in a crate and then get on a flight and go from. They say they fly to Edmonton to see Chris Dingman, and then I had my day with it. And they're also working up, and then they flew to where I think had in Kamloops or in the shoe shops or whatever. So then the guy, he gets on a flight, he goes to to Kamloops or the next wherever city. So every guy gets basically 24 hours with it, and you're allowed to do whatever you want, within reason, obviously, within the boundaries of good taste. And, it's just had a party both times. I took around a few places in town, and, I'm a music guy, so I had a live band, and so I had a cover band that, play music. I get up and play drums with them, and, just basically 5,000 pictures, basically. That's what it is. You spend half the day hoisting it over your head, and because everyone wants to take a picture.
Right.
It's a good strength and cardio workout because 35, 37 pounds of hoisting over your head for half the day. So just pretty much just enjoy it with friends and family.
Now, do you talk to? Out of all the teams you play for, do you still talk to, even your 2 Stanley Cup teams, do you still talk to, or are you close to any of the players that you played with?
Well, yeah, you make friendships, like lifelong friendships, but, life's busy, and everyone's busy with jobs and kids and whatnot, so you don't see guys, but I think the beauty of sports and hockey especially, I can't speak for other professional sports, with hockey, but, you form a bond with your teammates. And the lives do with each other as well. Like they become friends. And the beauty is the people like in Colorado and Cody and and out of Florida, a bunch of those guys. Like we still see them here and there. Our kids are playing hockey, so we've seen the hockey tournaments. And they have like Cody's, for example. My wife and I we had seen them in. It might have been 5 or 6 years, and then we saw him a couple of years ago, and we saw him in multiple tournaments, and it's like no time passes. So, I think, you build friendships on every team, and, right we had the 10-year anniversary, and then NBA's jersey retirements, a bunch of guys came back into town. But I think those are great too, so you don't talk to a guy for 5 or 10 years, and then like Martin Seaback, he's back in Czech, or Slovakia, sorry. Slovenia, I hadn't seen him in 10 years, and it's like no time had passed. It was awesome. So then you just develop, great friendships, and talk to a guy day to day, or maybe even for years, or you just see him, you're running the guys on the road, or doing things, and beauty is you just develop those friendships where you cannot see somebody, like I said, for years, and then you just pick up where you left off. So I think that's the beauty of sports, and especially teams you win with, it's that much more special. You realize how hard it is to make it to the NHL and then stay in the NHL and then be successful and then win. It's so hard, and guys realize that. So you just want to, you have a bond that, like in Edmonton or the Oilers, like, I'm sure the McCabe and the Kirk players are sick of hearing about, the teams in the 80s, those Oilers teams that won the 4 or 5 Stanley Cups.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many guys every year. Yeah, they have a reunion every year. They have a reunion, and they bring those guys back. So sure, McDavid's like, Jesus, I gotta see these guys again. But that's, the beauty is it's winning. When you win, people remember those teams, and you develop those friendships because it's such a grind. It's another 2 months or 2.5 months on top of the season, so it's great.
A couple more questions. We got 5 minutes left with you. What would you give any advice to any kid that wants to play hockey today? What advice would you give them to prepare them for hockey?
Save your money. Because it's expensive sports. Be very nice to your parents so they'll pay for it. Oh my God, it's it's expensive. I got 2 to play. I don't even want to tell you how much it's spend.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, it's I could have some very nice cars if I was paying for you hockey last. Oh God, 6 years. Anyways, Joe, all kidding aside, what advice is just work hard, just be a good person. Like I tell my kids, they love it. Mo, they're getting at that age where it isn't. He's draft eligible this year, so for the junior draft. So he wants to get drafted. Wants to play junior and whatever. And I just tell him you gotta work hard in the game. You gotta eat right.
Right.
Eat stuff fun, but you gotta go to bed. You gotta train. It's a sacrifice. Like, you think it's an easy lifestyle. And don't get me wrong, it's great. When you make it there, when you get there, you need great money. But
yeah,
getting there is the hard part. Staying there is the harder part. So I just think it's like anything. If you have a dream, follow your dream. And I always tell my kids, don't say what if. I have that, what if I would have done this? Like, what if, you always look back in your life, through people, everybody, and everything they do, and I just tell my kids, don't say what if. Don't say what if I would have worked harder, or what if I would have been ready. Be ready every day. Just work hard. I think it's a life skill thing, too, where, I think sports, for the most part, not everybody, because there's some assholes in the world.
Right.
I think it's a life skill. Hockey especially. I think we look at college athletics where a lot of guys, not everybody, but some programs got a job and do whatever, and they go to school or what have you. I think sports, but hockey it's life skills. It's you gotta be on time. You not be on time. You gotta be early. You're not 5 minutes early. You're 10 minutes late. So be on time. Work hard. Be a good person. Don't be an asshole. And you'll get ahead. So it's just a life skill thing. I think that sports they teach you so many things that you got to be accountable, and you can have ups and downs, but you got to work hard. And like I said, it's hard. It's sacrifice. It's not going home for Christmas. It's not. I get to celebrate New Year's for like 10 years. I sat home on New Year's when all my friends are out partying. Even junior, my adults were all partying, so I'll sit at home because in junior we always played a game on New Year's Day at like 1 o'clock, so it sucked. So maybe we kind of celebrate next year, but you're 16, 17, or 18, and you sit at home and by yourself, and everyone else is partying. It's a little sad and disappointing, but then you realize, in the grand scheme of things, who cares? That's New Year's, but you have to live your dream and make pretty good money and travel and meet people you never thought you'd meet. So that's your long-winded version of that answer is just follow your dream. You're a kid that every guy says, how to beat me, or you never think you're the person that you do. So every great player stand those screw points. Myself not being a great player, but I had a dream as a kid to play hockey and hoist the Stanley Cup, and we play street hockey or on the outdoor rink. You're always playing for Game 7, the Stanley on your minds. Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final, so. You just want to get a game-winning goal or whatever. So it just be follow your dream and work hard. And, you never know.
Now,
you just never know.
I know. Of course, it was tough, and the season hasn't started yet, and it's tough to win back-to-back Stanley Cups. Do you think the Lightning? I know the season hasn't started, but in your opinion, do you think the Lightning will win the hat trick of Stanley Cups and win it for the third straight year coming up?
No. I'll say no just to give them luck. Because if you say yes, if I won't, I don't know. It would be difficult. It would be very difficult just because of, winning is hard and repeating is hard.
Right. Especially in hockey.
And, well, just in all sports. Because when you win, people have to play well, and the result of that is you have to pay people more. So, you see it every year when teams do well. Guys want to get paid, and they deserve to get paid. So, Brady Boyd's got to get paid because he's arguably the best player. And Kucherov's making, a lot of money in Stamkos and Hedman, and you can't keep everybody. You saw that this summer where, it's disappointing for fans with Goudreau and Johnson and, losing some of those guys, but you can't keep everybody. So, they have a chance to win. They did a very good job of trading for players and bringing in new players, and that's what teams have to do. You have your core. Chicago didn't win those cups, and Pittsburgh. Those teams are good. You have your core. Chicago had they had Crawford, you see Rook, Hayes, and Kane, and Jones. He kind of plugged guys in around that. So I think Lightning has that strong core of players, and you just try and bring in new guys. It's are cheaper because you can't keep everybody. You can't afford everybody. So it's a good thing and a bad thing about it. Obviously. Guys get paid more, and you have salary cap, and there's only so much. Like Bob, our old, he was the head of the union, and he used to say, we don't want a salary cap. And then the guys were like, well, why? What if it's like $80 million back then, which, was high? And he's like, well, because here's the deal. Like in football, here's your pie. Your quarterback, your starting quarterback takes a quarter of it.
Right.
Your top receivers take another, quarter of it, and back, and then here's what's left, like the rest of you, fight over what's left, basically.
Right.
It's just economics of sports right now, and that's why we're so opposed to the salary cap. Is that it would be better to control salaries and wages and stuff, but after we missed a year of hockey, and then the owners. It was funny because Bobby and I say, well, they want us to fix their problem. And being, they overspend like every year, come July 1st. An agency, like these guys, these owners, not these guys, but the owners, they overspend. He's like, every year they overspend, and they want us to fix it. It's not, he's like, it's on our, it's on our fault. It's kind of funny, like he's like, give guys with billionaires, they're successful businessmen.
Right.
And then he's like, July 1st, their brains turn to mush because they just want to get this player. And an example, there's a guy, Mario Lapointe, who played for Detroit. And Mike Illich, the old owner of Detroit, before he's passed away now. And then the old owner of Chicago, Bill Wirtz. So Illich had signed a guy or something, and he was still sour at him. So he's like, Mario Lapointe is a free agent. So he's like, I don't want Mario Lapointe. And it's like, it's going to cost you $2.5 million. He's like, I don't care. Well, it's going to cost you $3 million. I don't care. It's going to cost you $4 million. Long story short, Mario Lapointe signed a 4 or 5 year deal for like $5 million a year or something, which is a lot of money for him. Great for him, but only because of the one owner screwed the other one over. The guy was solid him, so he's like, I'm gonna get him back and get this guy. So yeah, it's just the economics of sports, and as unfortunate it is, but it'll be difficult. It'll be very difficult for him to win again. But you have one of the best goal leagues, if not the best goalie in the league, and you got one of the top 3 or 5 defensemen in the league, and you have great forwards, the Kucherov, Floyd, Stamkos. So they definitely have the key ingredients. It's just a matter of are they able to, fill the players that left. And that's, unfortunately, it's disappointing for the fans, but it's the end result of winning. You're going to lose guys just because there's only so much money to go around.
Right. Now, last question before I let you go. How close were you ever to being voted in the All-Star game? And if you ever did or were in an All-Star game, what would that experience have been like for you, playing in that game?
Well, I was never close to playing an All-Star. Not at the professional level, not the NHL. But I think with the fan vote, where the fighter John Scott got in and had a great experience in sports and goals, and they ended up getting they voted him player of the game. So if I ever would have played, it would have been probably crapping my pants, to be honest with you. But I would have had the time of my life, and I would have got as many autographs as possible. I would have got an autograph from every guy. Yeah, these are for my kids. This is when they get older. This is their college fund. So I think it's such a special experience to play in the league, and then you play with these great players like Forsberg and Sakic and Rayborg that are great guys too. Imagine going to a game. You get to go play in a game where you play with the best, the best of the best, and I think it'd be pretty. I'd just savor every minute of it. I'd just have the time of my life. If I scored, oh my God, I'd have the best salary ever. I might jump into the stand. So I would, if I ever, well, I can't anymore unless I'm playing in a senior All-Star game, but I would have, I just would have enjoyed it. Just like anything else. I think you take for granted, not that you take for granted, but you don't appreciate maybe just all the stuff. Like, I love playing in the league. I enjoyed it, and I had fun. I went out, but I worked hard and I was ready for games. But you just try to savor it. It's just such a cool experience. And some people don't like the game and stuff, but I like it. I like the best of the best, and it's just it's great. I would just love it. I would enjoy every minute of it, and like I said, I'd give as many autographs as humanly possible.
Now, bonus question. This is the last one, I promise, before I let you go. If the Lightning came calling to do a broadcast position like you did before already, or if they came across, hey, do you want to coach? Would you take either one again?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think, the broadcasting side of it was great. I'm not Dave Anichuk, and, the chief was not they moved him, and basically he took my job, and Brian Engblad came in, and
right.
The unfortunate side, the unfortunate part of that industry is that sometimes, I thought I was really good. I thought I was really good at what I did, and every year I did it, I got more and more games. I was in between matches, and then you're just done because they need somewhere to put chief, and good for them, sucked for me, but I do it again in a heartbeat. It was great. I mean, there's nothing like sitting in between the benches watching professional hockey and interviewing guys, and you get to travel, and it's like being a player, but you're not a player. Like, I remember, Rick Peckham was complaining one time because you either get the the nice plane, or you get a regular plane.
Right.
But it's like half full because it's just the players and the staff. And I remember one play, he's like, "Oh, seats are brutal and whatever." I'm like, "This is all right, kidding me? This is great. You get on the plane and like you want steak or chicken or lasagna or whatever. You get 3 choices of." You get Caesar salad or whatever, dessert, and you get a beer or wine, whatever you want. So, and then you just get treated like a rock star. So, and then you're staying in, you're staying in the same hotels as the players, and they're staying in 5-star hotels, and you don't have to pay for it. So, and then you can travel around all the cities, New York and LA, whatever. So, yeah, I would do, broadcasting was fun. I'd do it again. I'd love to do it. Coaching, I think I would, but you're hired to get fired. So
that is true.
Great for John Cooper. Stuck around quite a long time, and you look at all the assistants that were fired or let go over the years of his tenure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's like 3 or 4 sets of assistant coaches. So, I think coaching. I do coach now. I coach my kids and I coach younger players, but I enjoy that aspect of it. But I think it'd be good, but it's tough because you get fired at any minute. So you see coaches sometimes where you see them at the start of the season, they look great, and at the end of the season, they got huge bags under their eyes, but they haven't slept in a month. So I think you get paid well. It's a great job being the best league in the world, but there's a lot of pressure and moving. So I don't know if I think between the two I'd do the TV because less likely to get fired, but
yeah,
you still get fired too. So
exactly, you're right on that. But that does it for my questions. I thank you for your time. It was fun. I'm glad we came in contact. I got your number. I'll text you. But yeah, you feel free to come on as many times as you want. If you would like that, I'd like to have you on more times.
Cool, awesome. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Definitely. And if you want, would you like me to send you a copy of the episode to listen to?
Yeah, sure. If you want, or just if you post so I can watch it.
Perfect. All right, I will certainly do that. But it was fun, and have fun coaching your kids. Don't let them kill. Don't let them kill each other. Because I know I got 2 of my own, and they love killing each other.
All right, awesome. Right. Have a great day.
You too. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye. Chris Dingman, everybody, former Lightning player, former 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Very good conversation. Glad to have him on, talking some puck. And you guys have a good day. Be safe. This concludes episode 44 with Chris Dingman.